Hello again, folks. So I thought I would do a part 2 on my DD journey so far. That all started, well, you start off by watching Bosnian Bill and Not Picking Lawyer. And when they first started in the day, we had these cheap Chinese things, which they're okay. I think it was Mick Connolly, Australian locksmith, who did a video once, who showed that these are all right for cheap locks, but you want something a bit better for the better locks. So an example of that is these acrylic training locks. I've opened one of these once. I've got a couple. I've opened one of these once, but as you can see, the keyway isn't centered. The acrylic isn't centered around the keyway properly, so you can't even see your tool in that one properly, you see. So they're a pile of tosh. So with that said, I thought I would just do an update because I've been practicing. I did a short recently where I actually showed the open on this lovely cutaway, which is definitely the way to go. This is done by RWB Custom Picks, and as you can see all the innards there working nicely. On my last video, I had picked this, and then I did something stupid. Once I'd picked it, I just took the pick out, and then I tried putting the key in and jiggling it, and I ended up taking it to bits, and then all the discs dropped out. So on that note, I'd like to say a huge thank you to DMAC again, because I reached out to him and he did a video explaining the key cut positions and how to read the key, how to read the discs and everything else, and that gave me a massive understanding, more so, on how these locks work. So I thought we'd go on from that. One thing I have noticed since I've taken it to bits, I'm just good. It is open at the moment, it does work, but I have noticed it's a bit crunchy, and there we go, it doesn't always open every time now. So if anybody's got, there we go again. So if anybody's got any tips or advice as to why that is, I'd really like to know. Please leave a comment down below if you know what could be causing that. The sidebar isn't bent or anything, I've checked that. It was really sticky, but I did put a little bit of lock lubricant, hang on. I put a little bit of this stuff just down there in the sidebar, and that seemed to free it up a little bit. But yeah, since then I've been practicing about half an hour every night and not getting anywhere, and I'm getting really frustrated with it. So that's why I put it down and I only do it for about half an hour a night. But last night I opened it not once but 5 times. So I thought I would try and do it on video with a couple of tips along the way for beginners, as I am, because it might help somebody, and if it does, that's awesome. That's what it's all about. So tip number 1, I remember when I first watched Bosnian Bill use one of these, he said he used to use 2 fingers, one to steady that in the position where you want it. You can push it down and then put your pressure on your finger and there, and then do it like that. Now that's going to come in quite useful. Not that we're going to use that, I was just wanted to show you. That's where I first saw that tip, and it's a Bosnian Bill tip. So another tip, if you've got one of these tubular lock picks, you don't need a Disc Detainer turner. I will be making a DD turner in a video coming up soon if you want to know, but you don't need one if you've got one of these, because this very much fits quite nicely to turn all the discs, as you see. There we go. So that's another little tip I've come up with. As you can see, it's all locked. We've seen the key working. This is a bit on the key. There we go. And if you want to know what that is mapped out, that's for bitting on the key following DMAC's video, which turns out to be the same as DMAC's. So they are keyed alike. Madly enough, again with his amazing tutorial, I was able to do that. I've sent him a picture of a key and he has confirmed that it is actually keyed alike. So right, with that said, let's see if we can get this picked. Another little tip, obviously, let me see, is with padlocks I try and pick them, learn how to pick them in hand, because not that I am or want to be a locksmith, but that's how you'd have to do it, although you wouldn't be able to hold it like this. So once I get good, I'm going to start trying to see if I can pick it like this. or something. I don't know. Just playing around, picking it different ways, as RuneSmith was saying recently. So first of all, make sure it's in the right place. Tension on. Make sure, as always, with any lock, you can get down the front and the back of a pack, traverse freely, whether it's a lever lock or a pin tumbler, you need to get your pick in all the way. So now that's done, another little tip, if you line it up, my eyesight isn't great for all these markings here, so what I use is this grub screw hole, and if that's facing me all the time, whichever side it is, then I know where I am. So that's another little tip for you if your eyesight isn't that great. So I'm going to try and pick this now, and don't forget, if you're on a touchscreen or anything, then you can do your finger thing and zoom in if you want to see the discs doing their thing. So let's get on with it. Let's see if we can get this open on camera. So first of all, we go down to the back of a pack, pick up the first disc, which is moving freely, so it's not that. I'm going to go up one to the next one, which is not moving at all, so I'm going to release a bit of tension and turn that till it clicks. That's moving, so it's not that one, up one, and turn that till it clicks. Next one's free, next one is free, so we'll leave those there. Go up another disc. That's a bit crunchy, but it's not tight. That's crunchy, but not tight. In fact, that's the same. So we're going to go back down here. And also another thing, I remember Lockchuck saying, I was watching him pick one once, and he says the reason he likes DD locks so much is because they're the only locks where you can actually reset something without having to reset the whole lock, which is very true, I've come to find. I think that's in the gate. I think that is now. But yeah, great locks to learn on. You can see what you're doing. There's no false gates in these locks either. So I will leave a link for RWB Jan, his Instagram page, down below. So if you want one of these, he's selling them for 50 English pounds at the moment. There's another click. And yeah, if you want to get into DD locks, there's another one. Then these are the way to go. Brilliant teaching tools. And if you like collecting things, as I do, as you know I do, then it's also a great addition to a cutaway collection. And I think I've overset something, so I'm going to go back down again and just double check. I'm going to go quiet a minute while I'm thinking. It's not that one. There we go. Ready? There we are. Got it on camera. That's it. So yeah, that is the Baton Disc Detainer lock picked on camera. And also, don't forget, RWB does some amazing pinning trays where you got your cutouts for your discs when you're doing the disc, as well as your pin tumblers. So yeah, I'll leave a link down below. Go and check out RWB for awesome lock picking tools, trays, gizmos and stuff. And I'll leave a link down below for the DMAC video, which helped me come along this far. So that's it for now, folks. Till next time, think like a proton and stay positive. See you soon. Bye-bye.